Alrighty guys, let's get it. Haven't been to a hard off this far off the beaten path in quite some time now. Let's go ahead and make our way straight to the console cabinet. See what it's hitting for. Boy, did they have some heavy hitters today. A complete in-box 25th anniversary Game Boy Micro and a boxed 2DS Pokemon Special Edition. It's pretty clear that today we're in for a treat. So without further ado, let's get straight into this walkthrough of the Hard Off Super Mall. Surprisingly, it seems like they don't have the biggest game section at this specific store. However, they do have a pretty good selection of Game Boy Advance, Game Boy games, and Nintendo DS cartridges as well. Right there in the bottom right corner, they got a copy of Red and Crystal. Pretty good price on them too. Just above that, I noticed they had a couple different AC adapters for Game Boy SP, Nintendo DS, and I noticed they had some Wii remotes and GameCube controllers above that as well. If you think about it, this is all the stuff that you see when you first walk in. I really haven't even been more than 50 feet into the store yet, so let's go ahead and keep the walkthrough moving. When you're shopping at a hard off store, you really never know what you're gonna find. And that Arceus promo hanging here in the game section is definitely an example of that. I'm more into older software, so these Nintendo Switch titles and newer titles aren't really catching my eye. But I did see that copy of Pokemon X there in the 3DS section. It looks like the further we go into the store, the more and more retro that I'm starting to see. That's giving me the hope that we're gonna find what we're looking for. What am I looking for, you might ask? Well, I do still need a copy of Pokemon Leaf Green CIB for my personal sealed collection. Wave Rider 2 was only going for 550 yen, and this pretty crispy copy of Pokemon Stadium was looking good to me. I just might have to pick that up. I do already have one copy of this game, but my box did get pretty damaged in my transit, so the fact that this one's super clean, I think I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the collection. I also did notice this copy of Mario Kart 64 here for just 800 yen. Even though the box is faded, I think I'm gonna grab that too. Let's go ahead and dive straight into the junk section. If you've never been to a hard off store before, a junk section is where you find some of the best deals. Most of the items here in the junk section are damaged, but you can get lucky sometimes and find an item that is listed as damaged in the junk section to be 100% functioning and working in good condition. All the items sold in the junk sections are sold as is, no returns, so be sure to check out and fully inspect the item before you buy, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. One of the coolest part about the junk section are these blue bins right here. These blue bins right here have some items at some amazingly discounted prices, some as low as 110 yen. All these items are either individually priced or color coded by priced rubber bands. And here in the game section, you'll find just about anything from AV cables, power supplies, controllers, accessories, remotes, UMDs, even GameCube memory cards. There's pretty much no limit to what you can find here. And that doesn't just stop with games, that goes to all other household items you could think of that might be sold at a hard off store. But today we're shopping for video games and video game accessories, so that's what we're gonna keep it to. Going along through this controller section, I am looking for a few specific cables, and I was also looking to see if I couldn't get lucky and get one of the retro controllers that were to be used on Wii or Wii U. And that's when I saw this gigantic logical controller, keyboard, whatever you want to call it. It's like a dual purpose item. I wish I had space for something like that, because if I had space, I would definitely be picking that up today. They got a couple game bins located just under that, but it doesn't seem like they actually have too much software here in the bins. It seems like most of their software is actually on the wall in their game section. Like I said guys, this specific store doesn't have the biggest game section, but they do still have some good stuff in here. Let me go ahead and grab my 64 games and keep this walkthrough moving. I was making my way back to the front of the store when I noticed out of the corner of my eye what I thought to be a Pokemon Mini, but when I picked it up, it was actually a Hello Kitty Pocket Mini. I'm honestly not even sure what that does. I thought it was the little handheld Pokemon mini game player, but maybe you guys can comment down below and let me know. So far, my favorite part of this store has been the Game Boy games, so I wanted to head back up to the front just to see what other games they might have. I know that they had those copy of Pokemon Crystal and Pokemon Red down in the bottom right corner, but I did also end up spotting a copy of Pokemon Gold, well, two copies of Pokemon Gold, back to back here, loose as well, for under 700 yen. But alas, there was still no copy of leaf green to be found. Either way, this section was preloaded, and I'm still gonna have to take a look at that copy of red and crystal before I get out of here for the day. I think I want to go ahead and show you guys the rest of the store before I start making too much of a mess here. I also still haven't seen the iPod showcase yet, so that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Either way, I think it's time to move on from the games and let's continue on with this walkthrough. I see the guitars over here, and I show y'all the guitar section every time, so today it's just going to be a quick glimpse. We're not going to waste too much time here. Let's try to find our way to the iPods if they have any. Definitely not seeing them here in the first showcase. Just got a few loose junk camera accessories. There's no more showcases down there, and I have already scanned the entire rest of the junk aisle. So let's go ahead and continue down this wall of showcases. Sure enough, the final showcase is where they kept their iPods, and I'm definitely not seeing anything in here that I need. So let's go ahead and make our way to the other side of the store and check out what the designer section has in store for us today. I was surprised to see that this designer section was actually super nice. They had a ton of different products, from designer watches, belts, bags, even shoes, hats, suitcases. They really did have a good assortment. There is even a worker over there currently tending to the prices. It's a pretty nice backpack she has on the counter. Who knows, maybe she's about to mark the price down for us. Man can dream, can he? Either way, I don't want to bother her with the camera, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. I do have one question for you though. What was your most favorite item that you saw in this entire video? If you had to choose one to buy, what would it be? Thank you guys so much for watching another one of my Hard Off walkthrough videos. This has been my Hard Off Super Mall walkthrough. I'll be sure to leave the location of this store in the description of the video. And until next time, I'll be out this thing. Peace. Bus routes are kind of messed up today, so I had to stop and get the 4 a.m. special BLT and the rice cake as well.